Ladies and gentlemen, every person in this world has a version of themselves that is waiting to be unlocked. A version that is stronger, wiser, more fulfilled, and deeply aligned with purpose. Becoming your best self is not a destination, it's a lifelong journey. A journey filled with self-reflection, discipline, and bold action. But this journey doesn't require perfection. It requires progress. Today, I want to walk you through the 7 essential steps to becoming your best self. These are not magical formulas. They are practical, powerful, and proven steps that anyone can take, starting today. Before you can become your best self, you must first understand what that looks like. Without a vision, your actions lack purpose. Without a clear direction, you end up reacting to life instead of creating it. Clarity is the foundation of transformation. Start by asking yourself some deep, uncomfortable, and honest questions. What kind of person do I want to become? What do I want to feel like when I wake up each morning? What kind of work do I want to do? Not just for money, but for meaning. What relationships do I want in my life? Who am I surrounding myself with? What values do I stand for, no matter the situation? This is not about dreaming passively. This is about consciously designing a blueprint for the life you want. Just as an architect doesn't begin building without a plan, you shouldn't move forward without a vision. Write it down. Describe it vividly. Make it emotional. Imagine not just your achievements, but also your habits, your energy, your peace of mind, and the impact you have on others. See your best self in full color, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. When your vision becomes clear, decision-making becomes easier. You'll stop saying yes to things that don't align. You'll begin to feel more driven, more focused, more alive. Why? Because clarity unlocks power. It transforms vague goals into a compelling mission. And remember, your vision is not set in stone. It will evolve as you grow. And that's okay. What matters most is that you have something to aim for, a guiding light that pulls you forward every single day. Once your vision is clear, the next step is to take full ownership of your life, your choices, your habits, your results. This is one of the hardest but most empowering steps, because as long as you keep blaming your circumstances, your past, your parents, your partner, or the world around you, you're giving away your power to change. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything that went wrong in your life. It means accepting that your future depends on you, not on anyone else. It means realizing that no one is coming to save you. That change begins the moment you stop saying, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I do about it?" Responsibility is not a burden. It is your greatest tool for growth. It means understanding that your life is a reflection of your standards, your decisions, your mindset. If you're unhappy with your health, relationships, career, or confidence, it's not just about what happened to you. It's about how you respond to what happened. That response is your responsibility. People who become their best selves refuse to play the victim. Even when they've been wronged, even when the odds are stacked against them, they take control of what they can. They focus on what they can improve, change, or influence. And that's where their power lies. Taking responsibility also means holding yourself accountable on a daily basis. You don't wait for motivation to strike. You don't expect others to keep you on track. You become the kind of person who shows up for themselves, even when it's hard, even when no one is watching. It's easy to fall into excuses. I don't have time. I wasn't born into the right family. I'm too old. I've failed too many times. But your best self is not built on excuses. It's built on commitment. It's built on the decision to own your story and then rewrite the parts that don't serve you anymore. Because once you fully take responsibility, you stop living in reaction and start living in creation. Transformation is not a one-time event. It's the result of small, consistent actions repeated every single day. If your vision is the destination and responsibility is the decision to move forward, then daily discipline is the engine that gets you there. Your best self doesn't arrive overnight. It's built slowly, in the quiet moments when no one is watching. In the early mornings when you choose to get up instead of hitting snooze. In the hours you spend learning when others are scrolling. In the choices you make when no one will ever know. This is where most people fall short. Not because they don't have a dream, but because they don't have a system. Dreams give you inspiration, but discipline gives you results. Start by designing a daily routine that aligns with your vision. That means setting aside time to move your body and prioritize your health. Read, journal, and feed your mind with ideas that elevate you. Review your goals and make progress on them, even if it's just 1%. Disconnect from distractions so you can reconnect with your purpose. It doesn't have to be complicated. What matters is that it's consistent, because your habits shape your identity. When you do something every day, no matter how small, you're sending a message to yourself, this is who I am. And here's the truth. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being relentless. You will miss a day. You will have setbacks. But when you have discipline, you don't quit. You recommit. Discipline also means learning how to do things even when you don't feel like it. Motivation is fleeting. Some days you'll be inspired, other days you won't. But discipline shows up, rain or shine. It is a muscle, and the more you use it, the stronger it gets. Over time, these daily disciplines become your default setting, and your default setting creates your destiny. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is not filled with luck. It's filled with routines, rituals, and relentless repetition. Your best self is not out of reach. It's just on the other side of 1,000 daily decisions. Becoming your best self isn't just about adding new things to your life, new habits, new goals, new routines. It's also about having the courage to remove what's holding you back. Because growth requires space. And if your life is filled with negativity, distractions, and outdated attachments, there won't be room for the new and better version of you to rise. We all carry things that once served us, but now limit us. Old friendships that no longer align with our vision. Habits that bring momentary comfort, but long-term regret. Environments that keep us stuck in the same cycles. Even beliefs we've accepted since childhood that quietly whisper, "You're not enough." These things may feel familiar, but familiar isn't always healthy. Comfort isn't always progress, and loyalty to old patterns can keep you from stepping into your highest potential. Start with a deep and honest self-inventory. What habits are stealing my energy? What people around me constantly drain or discourage me? What thoughts run through my mind that create doubt, fear, or shame? What routines feel safe but actually keep me small? Don't be afraid to walk away from what no longer fits the future you're building. It doesn't mean you're heartless. It means you're committed to protecting your peace, your focus, and your growth. Sometimes saying no to others is saying yes to yourself. This step also includes digital clutter. How many hours are lost to social media scrolling? How many minutes are consumed comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel? These silent distractions chip away at your clarity and confidence. To evolve, you must make space, emotionally, mentally, physically. This might mean cleaning your environment, distancing from gossip, turning off the noise, or setting new boundaries that preserve your inner strength. Elimination is a form of elevation. When you let go of what no longer serves your future, you give yourself permission to grow without guilt. And that freedom becomes the foundation for everything else to flourish. Fear is a universal experience. It's a powerful force wired into our biology, designed to protect us from danger. But in modern life, fear rarely protects us from real threats. More often, it paralyzes us from pursuing our potential. Your best self doesn't live inside your comfort zone. It lives on the edge of discomfort, on the other side of the things that scare you. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. The truth is, everyone feels fear. But the people who rise above it have learned how to move forward anyway. The key is not to eliminate fear. That's not realistic, and it's not necessary. The goal is to change your relationship with fear. Instead of running from it, start leaning into it. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding right now because I'm afraid? What dream am I delaying because of the fear of failing? What truth am I not speaking because of fear of judgment? The very thing you're afraid to do is often the exact thing you need to do to grow. Taking action in the presence of fear builds confidence. Each time you step into fear and survive, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than you thought. You rewire your mind to believe that fear is a signal, not to stop, but to pay attention, to rise, and to grow. Facing your fears might mean having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, starting that business idea you've kept secret, applying for something that feels out of reach, standing up for yourself even when it's uncomfortable. Yes, it will be scary. Yes, you'll doubt yourself. But know this, courage is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. And every act of courage, no matter how small, brings you one step closer to the powerful, grounded, and free version of yourself. Fear feeds off avoidance. But when you face it head on, it shrinks. And you rise. You are not just shaped by what you do. You are shaped by who you do life with. The people around you are like mirrors. They reflect your beliefs, your habits, your expectations, and even your limitations. If you want to become your best self, one of the most important things you can do is to elevate your environment by choosing better company. Think about it. Who do you talk to the most? Who do you spend time with on a daily or weekly basis? Are they people who challenge you, encourage you, and help you grow? Or are they people who drain your energy, doubt your dreams, and reinforce your fears? Jim Rohn once said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." That's not just a clever quote. It's a warning and an invitation. Because proximity is power. The people closest to you influence how you think, how you feel, how you act, and ultimately, who you become. If you're constantly around negative people, it's hard to stay positive. If you're surrounded by small thinkers, it's hard to dream big. If you're the most driven person in your circle, it might be time to find a new circle. Surrounding yourself with greatness doesn't mean cutting everyone off or becoming arrogant. It means being intentional. It means choosing friends, mentors, and communities that reflect the direction you're headed, not the comfort of where you've been. Find people who are already living the life you aspire to, inspire you with their discipline, purpose, or mindset, encourage you when you struggle, but also hold you accountable when you slack. Celebrate your growth instead of feeling threatened by it. In today's world, your circle doesn't have to be physical. You can connect with mentors online. You can read books by powerful thinkers. You can listen to podcasts, join mastermind groups, or attend events. Greatness is available everywhere if you're willing to seek it. Your best self needs an environment where growth is normal, ambition is encouraged, and honesty is respected. You don't need people who will simply agree with you. You need people who will push you to level up. Because when you're surrounded by people who are chasing their best selves, it becomes impossible to stay average. At the highest level of personal growth, there comes a realization. It's not just about you. Yes, becoming your best self means developing discipline, building habits, mastering your mindset, and designing your life with intention. But the journey doesn't end with personal success. It truly begins when you ask, how can I use what I've become to help others rise too? Because the most fulfilled, empowered, and extraordinary people on this planet aren't just focused on their own goals. They're driven by a greater mission. A purpose that goes beyond status, beyond money, beyond applause. Serving a greater purpose gives your life depth. It fuels your efforts with meaning. It transforms everyday tasks into acts of impact. When you wake up knowing that your actions are not just benefiting you, but also uplifting your family, your community, your audience, your team, or even the world, You approach life with a different kind of energy. It's not about needing to be a hero. It's about understanding that your growth is a gift to others. Your discipline can inspire someone to find theirs. Your resilience can give someone the strength to keep going. Your story can become someone else's survival guide. You don't have to change the world overnight. Sometimes purpose is found in simple but powerful acts. Mentoring someone who's struggling with what you've already overcome. Using your creativity to bring hope or perspective to others. Turning your pain into a message of strength and healing. Being a role model for your children, siblings, or community. When you align your goals with a higher purpose, something incredible happens. You start showing up differently. You become more consistent, more compassionate, more courageous. Why? Because it's not just about you anymore. It's about what flows through you to the world. Your best self isn't just built for achievement, it's built for impact. And purpose is the thread that weaves your growth into legacy.